I know that you are gonna love today's recipe for garlic butter salmon. I mean, we're gonna build these bowls with perfectly cooked salmon, with vegetables, all in a full meal. Let's get started. Here I have a huge piece of Norwegian salmon that I have to thank my friends at fultonfishmarket.com. I'm gonna link them below this video. They sent me this generous piece of salmon, and because I haven't been shopping for seafood at all during quarantine, because I've been getting food delivered like many of you guys. So I'm very particular about seafood, and I don't really want someone to pick it out for me. So when I can find a good delivery option straight to my door, we're winning. So when you have a large piece of salmon like this, and we're obviously not gonna cook all of this for today's recipe, we want to pre-slice it and then use what we need for the recipe and then save the rest in your freezer right when you get it. So what I'm gonna do is slice about 3 to 4 ounce pieces. That would be a serving. And I'm going to start on this end, right like that. This is like the larger piece. It's probably about 5 ounces because the man in my life loves salmon. And this salmon does have the skin on, which you're not going to remove until after you cook the salmon. We're gonna put this straight in our sheet pan. So 1 piece at a time from here to our pan. And then I'm gonna cut another piece. Now I want you to check out the salmon. It feels buttery. I mean, the quality of the meat. It doesn't smell fishy, which is something that a lot of people complain when they're not really buying high quality seafood. You don't want it, although it's seafood, you don't want it to smell fishy. So you do know that this is really fresh and it has terrific texture. So onto our pan as well. My team and I are having an internal debate about how many servings should I be cooking today with you. The recipe is 4 servings, so you would slice 4 servings, but it's just us cooking, so you and I are gonna have a salmon date night. So let's move on to the garlic butter sauce. Now, before we move on to the garlic butter sauce, one thing I know you're gonna ask is, what am I gonna do with this huge piece of salmon? You know, so if you order salmon delivered to your house and you have a piece like this, if you're scared to do that, super easy. You're just going to cut it into pieces, single serving, rewrap it in tightly in plastic wrap or in a zip bag and stick it in your freezer. Once the salmon is at room temperature or thawed like this, you're gonna wanna cook it within 2 days of receiving it. If, 2 to 3 days max. So if you're not cooking the rest of it, make sure it doesn't go to waste and freeze it for another meal. Onto our garlic butter sauce, for reals this time. I've melted some butter here in a small dish, and I'm just going to add some crushed garlic. Now, if you have, this is a garlic paste or crushed garlic or finely minced garlic, we wanna do that. And then your favorite seasoning. Now, I just so happen to have Italian seasoning from my previous recipe around, but sometimes I make this garlic butter sauce with Cajun seasoning or a little bit of sriracha, then it's spicy and buttery. Honestly, however you like to season, use it because it's gonna be really good on top of the salmon. We have a bowl and we're going to mix it up. You wanna make sure the garlic, if you're using garlic paste, that it's distributed well in the butter, just like that. And then we're gonna go over our salmon and spoon some right over the top. I like to be very generous with this because it's really yummy. Now on this side of the sheet pan, even if I was making 4 pieces, I would just tighten up the salmon. But on this side, I'm going to put some onions that I just sort of coarsely chopped over here so they can kind of cook down and soften up while my salmon cooks. And some zucchini. Now, in order for your vegetables and the salmon to everything cook at the same time, you're gonna want to slice your zucchini sort of thinnish so that you can basically not eat raw zucchini. So on the sheet pan it goes. And then you could drizzle that garlic butter over it, but I keep my veggies really simple with a little bit of olive oil over the top, pinch of salt, and black pepper. Hold up, I forgot the tomatoes. So I have cherry tomatoes that, well, I don't wanna put cold veggies on my warm bowl, so I'm just going to, they just add a lot of nutrition and color, tastes really good. So we're gonna add some cherry tomatoes also to our pan. Okay, the cherry tomatoes, we're gonna just drizzle them a little bit. And we're gonna place this in the oven. As you can see, I quickly steamed a little bit of broccoli I had in the fridge to serve along with the salmon. I did not throw it on the sheet pan because the broccoli pieces are larger, so they would have still be pretty crispy and tough, where everything else is quick cooked through. So I'm gonna serve this with a little bit of rice on the side. Not a lot, because I can already see myself eating a ton of salmon and vegetables. We're just gonna place that right there. Hold on. Beautiful. Few of these cooked tomatoes, zucchini, and some broccoli, and some onions right there. Okay, so check this out. Rice, veggies, the salmon, it's perfectly cooked. And in the blog post, which is gonna be right below this video, I'm gonna answer all the questions for you on how do you know your salmon is cooked through, what does flaky mean, how to remove the skin, which is still underneath, all that stuff. So make sure you check the link right below this video. And I'm going to try this because, I mean, it just separates so good. Amazing. I mean, honestly, I know you're gonna wanna grab this recipe and hit that red subscribe button so you and I get to cook together every single week. See you next time.